Hi guys, thank you so much for listening to this video and what do I do and how did I become such an advocate for far infrared therapy sessions. It started off with, first of all, myself and who I am. I have a husband, an adoring husband who has been through thick and thin with me, and we're celebrating our 18th anniversary come August 17 in 2020. I also want to say, also a mother of two beautiful boys. We started this journey together. It wasn't easy for our family. A pain that came down from my mid-back all the way down to my legs. And it started off with an accident that I was playing with my two boys, football, and all of a sudden just a shooting pain stopped me from playing as I was trying to throw the ball to the children. And just at that moment, I realized that there was this excruciating pain, and that pain just went down my back, down my legs, down my right down to my feet, and I collapsed. And both my husband and my children ran to me and said, "What happened?" And I couldn't get up. And I felt embarrassed. I felt that, could this be it? Like, could this pain stop me from doing anything else? So needless to say, it took me 5 years to really try to investigate what was going on. So I went through CAT scans, I went through MRI, I went through needles. I even subjected myself to steroid needles for both my hip and my legs. They thought it could be bursitis. They thought maybe it could be a hip replacement or perhaps my knees. All in all, I just couldn't get comfort. I was bedridden for over a month. And finally, when I was able to walk, I wasn't walking. I was crawling to the bathroom. So again, I made more appointments to see the doctors. And once again, they wanted to put me up with medication. And again, I was not feeling my best. What hurt me the most, it wasn't that I was in pain. It was the fact that I was not available and not present for my family. My family is number one, and they depend so much on me. They depend on my my energy, getting up in the morning and really trying to help them and be there. Now, they are going to school, and can you imagine just lying there and seeing your children going to school and you can't do anything about it except for enduring the pain and suffering that you are in. So finally, it was about 3 years after my pain, I decided that I was trying to find something that's going to help me. Something that wasn't going to be medically invasive, no more needles, no more drugs, no more, visiting back and forth to the doctors without any answers. They were giving me Band-Aids, but there was no solution. They said I had to live with the pain, and that was it. So finally, I was getting so excited after the third year, and I ended up going to a rheumatologist. And I wanted to get a diagnostics about exactly what was going on with me and what was going on with my family, with all the pain and suffering that I was going through. And I remember getting so excited because I was finally going in to see an intern medicine doctor in Oakville in Ontario. And he asked me to do 3 different tests. 3 different tests. 1, bend down. Do you have any pain? And exactly what are you feeling? I told him, and he quickly diagnosed me as I had fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia? What? So I didn't know what that was, but I was devastated because it wasn't so much he told me I had fibromyalgia. It was the simple fact that he told me we couldn't do anything about it. You had to live with the pain, you had to live with the suffering, and you had to live being the way I lived every day that I resented. I went leaving, and I asked one more question: is there anything you could do for me? And he said, well, we can put you on medication, And really, you just have to learn to live with the pain. I left the office and I drove. And when I drove, I was in a state of sadness. I didn't think that I wanted to live with this pain anymore. And for the first time in my life, I sat as I got into the garage of my home. Leaving the car running, I contemplated some thoughts that I hope that nobody can go through. One thing that stopped me from doing what I wanted to do was the simple fact that I am an advocate for my children in telling them that make sure you never give up. No matter what obstacles you have or no matter what obstacles you face, that you never, ever give up. Luckily, I heard those words in my mind, in my soul, in my spirit. I turned off the car engine and I vowed myself to making sure this journey would stop with me, and that I myself had to find something to help my children and myself and my husband to gain me back. So I had gone and studied about physical therapy. I also studied about mental health. I worked on therapies for brain therapy, trauma, healing, everything I could possibly think of. So much research that I cannot tell you how much I've exhausted my research, but that's not enough. I made sure that I went to the workshops and I went to speak to so many people that had any pain or had any suffering or anybody. I just kept talking and I kept asking and asking and asking until finally I was fortunate enough to have gone to Beautiful Money seminar that a friend of mine had held, Leanne Jacobs, and she spoke about this she machine and this therapy that she was doing in order for her to feel more energy and just felt overall well. Well, I was desperate and I asked her, and I approached her after the seminar or her workshop, and I asked her, I said, can you tell me a little bit more about where you've gone and how did it really help you? And she told me, and I was excited to make my first appointment. And I mean, at first I thought, oh, maybe, it's a gimmick, or maybe she was getting sponsored or whatever it was, but I trusted her enough to know that it was something that she wouldn't lead me down if she didn't believe in it. And so I went and made my first appointment at Elemental Therapy in Stoney Creek. And my first session was walking in. It was this bed and had 3 domes, and these 3 domes incorporated far infrared wave rays that comes through and heats the body. And also this little machine that shook you back and forth, but really in a movement of a figure 8 motion that helps promote energy as well as drains the lymphatic system, drains your lymph nodes, as well as just an incredible feeling that you feel right afterwards. Again, I didn't know what I was getting into, so I went in and I did the first session. I didn't really think of anything of it. It didn't really do anything for me at that point that I thought, but all I knew is supposed to rejuvenate your cells and also help boost your immunity. So I ended up going for my second treatment, and for the first time I actually wanted to do my hair. I wanted to get up and I wanted to go. Even though it was further away, I still wanted to make my appointments. And I think after the third appointment, I was feeling better. I felt my mood was better. I felt that I was looking forward to something. But I guess my my concern was it wasn't this like I mean, how? I kept asking, how could this help me? So I would say after the 5th session, I had renowned energy. I had this ability to have exceptional performance through my mind. I was able to see clearly and think clearly and know what I wanted to do. So I went back to school and I wanted this machine. I wanted to train. I wanted to learn. I wanted to be the best clinical health practitioner that there was in order for me to help as many people as I could that were suffering the way I suffered, the way that I was feeling upset and I was feeling anxious and I was feeling that this has to be in the hands of the right people. And it was my mission. And my mission was to make sure that no one suffers like I did, and that they can gain back their health and vitality, that they can be back with their children, and that they can live a life that was worth living. So it was worth it for me because I was worthy enough to receive it, but I also wanted that worth back to people. You don't deserve to be living in pain. I didn't deserve to be living in pain. And I had the perfect solution, because when I was able to have these appointments, and when I was able to see the changes that took place in my life, and I am so forever grateful that when I could not walk those 16 steps to the bathroom, I'm able to run my own business, that I'm proud to say I'm the founder of She Heals Global, and I am personally giving those therapy sessions, those one-on-one sessions. And every day that someone has something that they want to talk about, I'm there to listen. I'm there to understand, because I'm walking in those shoes just like everyone else. I hope that helps. I hope that I have given you the opportunity that if you ever want to talk, or if you ever feel like you're giving up, don't. There is a solution. So please visit us at She Heals Global. My name is Carolyn, and I am located at Hamilton, Ontario, and the address is 1112 Rymal Road East, and we're happy to accept new patients, and we're happy to be with you. I love you enough to understand what you're going through, and I hope you can trust your journey with us and with me. Take care. Bye-bye.